even Adam Schiff is playing ball. Shifty shift. I never thought I would ever hear him say anything positive about the Trump administration. But wait until you hear this one, guys. Shifty Schiff is now, shifting again, saying that, you know what, there's some things to be very proud of here in this moment. I mean, he sounds a lot like Rahm Emanuel. I mean, they're having a big giant party. Should we be worried? What is this? Is this like reverse psychology? They figure, oh gosh, that socialist won in New York. We better do something. Maybe we ought to be joining one with MAGA at some point. Here is Senator Adam Schiff out of California. You know, the guy that started the whole Russia thing.
If this ceasefire takes effect or it remains in effect, that will be a very strong positive for the whole region, indeed for the whole world. It will mean that no U.S. service members were injured in Iran's retaliation against our base in Qatar. It will mean, hopefully, an end to the fighting between Israel and Iran and the loss of life as a result of that war. It will also mean that, at least for now, Iran has chosen not to escalate because of the vulnerability of the regime, because of the weakening of its defenses by Israel, and for a host of other reasons. So if this holds, that will be an unmitigated positive.
You like my sunglasses? It's kind of functioning like a headband today. You know, guys wear hats. My hair's getting a little messy. Put the sunglasses in. Anyway, that was Adam Schiff. And I'm blown away. He's saying there's a lot of positives there. And he's not the only one, okay? He's not the only one. You got Rahm Emanuel, you know, Obama's guy, sounding very similar. This is amazing, you guys. This is the Democrat establishment breaking ranks with AOC and La Monica and a few others.
Yeah. So, Jake, let me just walk back. There's some significant wins here, significant losers here, and some unanswered questions. On the losers, the one big loser, in my view, is not just Iran, and I'll get through that, but is Russia. Russia, if you take a step back, all their weapons, the S-300, did not protect Iran. They've been proven to be a feckless ally. They didn't come to their defense. They've been kicked out of Syria. They've now been shown to be weak not only in Iran. They have a war going on 3.5 years on a country a tenth of the size. They can't win. Their intelligence was wrong about Syria. Their intelligence was wrong about Wagner. Their intelligence was wrong about Ukraine. They've become dependent on China, and they've lost Europe. They have had the worst record here, strategically, militarily, and if the president would press the point, you could actually not only end the war, you could actually set back Putin's desires. Second, this is not the Persian Empire recreated. Everything that's been done over 40 years by the Ayatollah has been blown up. The nuclear program costing $100 billion, lost in Hezbollah, lost in Hamas, hundreds of billions of dollars obliterated. They have a brain drain in Iran. They have a weakening economy, major loss. I don't agree with the President of the United States. Do not, on many, many issues. But you have to admire that when the United States says all options are on the table, he just proved all options are on the table. And China and Russia and even North Korea have to step back because that has a level of deterrence. So the blast radius of this goes much farther. Now, the question to the president.
Oh, I just have to stop. Are you guys hearing this? Did you hear that? I mean, he's basically saying this guy's like the best leader for foreign policy I think we've ever had in modern history. Donald Trump is swinging for the fences. Like, he's playing for real. And I'm going to talk about that coming out of this. I mean, I'm sure Rahm can't make it all, a bed of roses, but that's a pretty significant endorsement of what this president just accomplished. And, when he says he's having repercussions for Russia and for North Korea, this is kind of amazing. It is amazing what's happened. And that's why the market's been soaring all week. But let's continue listening.
Are you going to use the military window diplomatically and politically to strategically make this win significant and lasting? Saying you're not going to have an Iran nuclear agreement is crazy, and it's wrong. Are you going to press the point in Gaza and end the war? are you going to press the point in Ukraine now that you have leverage, or are you going to fitter it away because of your relationship with Putin? And lastly, I don't ever remember, Jake, a situation where the President of the United States took military action on a foreign country's intelligence, not American intelligence. They, in the Situation Room, should have said, why are our intel over here? Israel's intel over here. What did they know that we don't know? What do we know what they don't know? Not only after the fact, but before. And I think there's a real question here. You know, America's intelligence was degraded in 2003 in the Iraq War when it was manipulated. It resurrected itself in Ukraine, showing we knew a lot. And post-Ukraine, we just took military action as a country. And I just gave you my view of the consequence of that. And we did it based not on our own intelligence, but in other countries.
Yeah.
And so to me, beyond the Senate briefing, that is a real step for the United States. And we hasn't proven to work, but it could have put our troops at risk.
Oh, come on.
There's
Okay.
a real.
So it's like he just couldn't. It's like the producer got in his ear and said, hey, you know, ratings are going down. Come on, shift it around somehow, some way. So on the one hand, he's like, this is the most brilliant move ever, like with major repercussions for the rest of the world. And then he's like, but he trusted somebody else's intel, et cetera, et cetera. I think that we had intel to back it up. I would just say, listen, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm going to take that as a win from Rahm Emanuel and Shifty Shift, okay? They're coming out actually saying nice things about the president. And I find that sort of compelling and interesting and amazing because you know what? Sometimes you just can't ignore reality. And remember, Donald Trump is playing a whole different game. Not that he's playing a game. Maybe that's a bad way of characterizing it. He is actually committed to doing the best possible job he can for this country because you know what? He won't have another shot. He's looking at this saying, hey, you know, I could be out any day for goodness sakes. I mean, they tried to take him out. Think about that. If he hadn't turned back to look at that immigration chart, he wouldn't be here today. So he's approaching, I think, every moment, every day, every week with this sense of purpose. In the first administration, it was like, wow, we won? This is amazing, right? And the other side took advantage of that. Comey actually admitted that he took advantage of it because they didn't know what they were doing because they were all green. They had just gotten there and they were surrounded by these sophisticated politicos that knew how to work it to try and take him out, so to speak, right? And make things really difficult and really miserable. Well, now they're trying to make it difficult and miserable. I mean, that's what Letitia James is up to day in, day out. And yet she's now getting shot down at every single turn. That's what we saw again with the Supreme Court deciding that a single judge cannot actually get in the way and issue an injunction, a nationwide injunction against the executive orders of the President of the United States. So he's prepared legally to fight this battle. He's prepared from an intelligence perspective to work with other countries if need be, to make sure that we are secure as a nation and make the world a more secure place. And by the way, bring oil prices down with it. That was amazing to me. Amazing that we saw oil decline. And actually, it's down slightly right now in today's trading. But you saw oil come down, 8% the first day and then another 5.5% the second day. It went up like 1% the third day. But it's just amazing to see. And I'm looking right now at the markets, which are still in positive territory. So day 5, right, of positive territory for the markets. Guys, this is sort of incredible. It's really kind of incredible, all that's happening right now. And I think you just, whatever you do, you cannot underestimate this president. This president wants good things for this country. He wants safety, he wants security, he wants prosperity. And so I'm taking that bet, right? As an investor, I want you to take it too. And hopefully I can help you because I know a few things about finance and my colleague does as well over at 76 Research. I started this company with all of you in mind. You can get my research with code word $deal, LLAR, and it's just $1. $1 a month for the first 2 months, and then it goes to $9.95. You can cancel anytime. You don't like it the first month, you're out $1. Actually, you won't be out $1 because we will refund your dollar. How do you like that? But a lot of our picks have just done enormously well, including one recent pick that we issued over Father's Day, which had been up like 23%, and then is obviously continuing the rally here in this kind of market. I am a long-term investor, so unlike our friend Don Baca, who's in and out of stocks and all kinds of things, commodities every day. He used to work, I think, at the CBOE, you told me. Anyway, we are long-term believers in the stocks that we choose. And sometimes we'll rotate just from a positional standpoint, right? If a stock gets too high, maybe then you diversify into something else. But this is what we walk you through. We do not manage your money in any way, shape, or form. You have your money. This is just the research that we can provide you to make educated decisions about what to buy, what to invest in. And right now, I mean, it's kind of hard to go wrong, right? Wow, everything, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, all higher each day this week. And this is even coming amid news that Trump says he's terminating trade talks with Canada. So you would have, in fact, I was looking at the market because you know me, whenever the market goes down, I go in and I buy, and I was keeping an eye on the NASDAQ to see if it turned into negative territory. It has not. It is not. We are still in positive territory. We're hanging on, but it's almost coming down to the flat line. So I'm watching it very carefully to see if there is an opportunity to get back in there today because, like I said, I am a big believer in the long-term longevity, if you would, of the MAGA economy. Just lots of good things happening. Here's a picture you can see of the Chinese equivalent of Scott Bessent, there, our Treasury Secretary, making a deal. They're confirming the details of the trade deal. Donald Trump saying there were about 9 or 10 of them announced last night. Howard Lutnick as well coming forward with the news to Bloomberg. So you saw the futures market going higher overnight. So all kinds of deals happening. It's interesting. We're making a deal with China, but apparently not making a deal with Canada because Canada tried to, I think Donald Trump would call it bait and switch, right? We're not supposed to have any tariffs. And you can't go in and tariff our tech companies. That's not going to happen. So he's like, I'm done. I'm out. We shall see where this leads. But wow, I mean, what a week, right? I mean, this is what you call winning. It's amazing. I mean, from what we saw Saturday night, it was around 7:30 when I got the news. I was at my cousin's house. I mean, it was just amazing what happened. And like, this has all been developing and we've been hearing more and more good things, despite what, some people at CNN and the New York Times say. I think overall the consensus is, and you don't have to listen to me, you can look at the markets, you can listen to Rahm Emanuel, okay? Listen to Rahm, he'll tell you. I mean, for them to say this, that is a big deal.